What does it truly mean to be free in a world as complex, oppressive, and morally ambiguous as the One Piece universe? Freedom is never a simple escape from chains, the ability to sail the seas, or even the right to pursue one's desires. It is a philosophy, a guiding principle, and a force that shapes history itself, tested in the choices, sacrifices, and ambitions of those bold enough to claim it, and it manifests differently in each character, reflecting their values, experiences, and vision for the world. For Monkey D. Luffy, freedom is instinctive, raw, and irrepressible. It is a boundless expression of will, the unshakable courage to chase dreams without compromise, to forge bonds without fear, and to defy authority simply because no one has the right to dictate the course of his life. A freedom not calculated or constrained by ideology, but rooted in empathy, intuition, and the unbreakable determination to protect the people he cares about. Luffy's freedom is both personal and contagious. By living unrestrained, he inspires allies to follow their own paths, emboldens the oppressed to stand against tyranny, and challenges the Celestial Dragons, the world government, and even the invisible power of Imu, whose shadowy control over the world represents the ultimate antithesis to liberty. In stark contrast, Rox D. Zebec approached freedom as an almost apocalyptic vision, seeing it not merely as independence or personal liberation, but as the radical dismantling of the world's artificial order. To him, freedom meant confronting the lies of history, overturning the dominance of the Celestial Dragons, exposing the secrets of the Void Century, and challenging Imu's authoritarian grip, all through force, chaos, and uncompromising defiance. Zebec's philosophy required assembling the most dangerous, uncontainable forces of the age, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, and others, not to rule, but to break the system entirely, demonstrating that in One Piece, freedom can be existential, transformative, and catastrophic, and that the pursuit of true liberty often collides with survival, morality, and order itself. Gol D. Roger, meanwhile, carried a subtler yet equally profound understanding of freedom. It was the pursuit of ultimate knowledge, the willingness to uncover the truths of the world, including the mysteries of the Void Century, the ancient weapons, and the hidden history carefully curated by the world government, while exercising restraint, wisdom, and foresight to ensure that the world could endure the consequences of such knowledge. Roger's freedom was philosophical and measured, showing that true liberation is not merely the absence of constraint, but the deliberate choice to act responsibly, even when faced with knowledge capable of shaking civilizations. Donquixote Doflamingo represents the dark mirror of freedom, a vision built on control, manipulation, and domination. For him, liberty is the power to impose one's will, to strip away the autonomy of others, and to thrive where others are shackled, revealing that freedom without morality or empathy can breed oppression and isolation, illustrating the destructive potential of self-centered liberty. Monkey D. Dragon, on the other hand, embodies freedom as revolutionary and collective. It is the liberation of the oppressed, the dismantling of corrupt systems, and the long-term pursuit of justice against structures like the Celestial Dragons, the world government, and Imu, which enforce secrecy, maintain inequality, and suppress the truth of the Void Century, ensuring that history is written by the powerful rather than remembered by the people. These competing interpretations of freedom reveal that in One Piece, liberty is not singular or universal, but deeply tied to one's character, purpose, and perspective, and the tension between these philosophies creates the narrative friction that drives the series. The God Valley incident exemplifies this struggle, as Rox D. Zebec's apocalyptic pursuit of freedom collided with Roger's measured, philosophical restraint, resulting in an event whose ramifications are still felt centuries later. The eradication of Zebec from history, the suppression of his philosophy, and the concealment of knowledge about the ancient weapons, the Void Century, and the true nature of the world government, demonstrating that freedom is always dangerous, and that those who pursue it threaten the very structures designed to maintain order and control. The Will of D, central to this discussion, is itself a manifestation of freedom, a lineage of instinctual defiance that rejects domination and inspires rebellion, and it appears in the choices, courage, and moral clarity of Luffy, just as it once guided Roger and threatened Zebec's enemies. It embodies the eternal struggle between autonomy and authority, showing that liberty in One Piece is not granted. It is earned, defended, and often paid for with blood and sacrifice. The Celestial Dragons and Imu symbolize the ultimate antithesis to freedom, controlling information, wealth, military might, and historical truth, ensuring that knowledge, power, and opportunity remain concentrated, and that individuals like Zebec or revolutionary movements like Dragons cannot easily challenge the established hierarchy. Yet it is precisely this opposition that defines the meaning of freedom. It is not simply acting without restraint, but acting despite restraint, knowing the world is designed to suppress, manipulate, and control, and choosing to pursue one's principles anyway. Across the generations, from Zebec's apocalyptic vision, to Roger's tempered exploration of truth, to Doflamingo's tyrannical pursuit, to Dragon's revolutionary liberation, and Luffy's spontaneous, empathetic, and defiant freedom, it becomes clear that freedom is simultaneously personal, ideological, and generational, an enduring struggle that tests morality, courage, intellect, and the capacity to inspire others. It is freedom that sparks rebellion, fuels revolutions, and shapes history, that challenges tyrants, dismantles lies, and transforms societies. And in this sense, it is not merely a concept or a state of being, but a living, dynamic force whose pursuit defines the paths of the strongest, the wisest, and the bravest in the One Piece world. Ultimately, freedom in One Piece is revealed as a principle of action, conscience, and consequence, demanding risk, foresight, and an unflinching commitment to one's ideals. It is the collision between individual desire and systemic oppression, between instinctive will and structured control, and between the aspirations of heroes, anti-heroes, and revolutionaries alike. The legacy of Rox D, Zebec, Roger, and the philosophy of the will of D continues to resonate through the world, influencing the choices of Luffy and revolutionaries like Dragon, revealing that freedom is not a gift or a simple right but a complex living philosophy, tested by history, challenged by power, and ultimately realized only by those willing to confront tyranny, expose hidden truths, and pursue justice with courage, vision, and unwavering determination, proving that in the universe of One Piece, freedom is not merely a personal journey, it is a force that shapes the fate of the world itself. That's it. Also, if you like my content and want to support me, click the link in the description and in a pinned comment. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That's all for now. Best regards and see you soon.